All right, you guys, we come with some amazing tips today. I'm with Katie Williamson, and I've seen her for about over a year now here in Midland. And last time I was here, she gave me this pamphlet of anti-aging recommendations. And I was mind blown at all of the amazing tips. So I wanted to bring her on and share some tips with this audience.
So yeah, I'm gonna go over just what a general anti-aging routine looks like. And I'm kind of gonna simplify it. So there's so many things that you could be doing for anti-aging, and sometimes it gets a little bit overwhelming when you're at the drugstore or when you're at Sephora or Ulta looking through all of the different products that they recommend. So I'm kind of gonna break it down to just 3 simple steps, morning and evening. So in the morning, really you want to just start off with just a gentle face wash, and I always tell patients this is not where you want to spend your money. You want to just get a cheap over-the-counter face wash that gets all of the makeup and oil off your face but doesn't over dry your skin. So some of my favorites for this category, my #1 favorite, and it's $7 at CVS or Walgreens, it's called Simple Moisturizing Face Wash. And I have pretty oily and acne prone skin, and I feel like this face wash just gets all of my makeup off, it gets all of the oil and the dirt off, but it doesn't leave me feeling too tight or dry afterwards. So I love that one. And another good face wash is Cerave Foaming Cleanser. That one's really good for oily acne prone skin as well. Anything foaming is generally pretty good for oilier skin types. But everyone's skin's different. Some people have really dry skin, and for those patients I usually recommend Cerave Hydrating Cleanser, another good over-the-counter find. So those are probably my top 3 faves for face wash. So once you've washed your face, you definitely want to do an antioxidant serum of some sort. It's key for anti-aging. It helps protect you against free radicals. Free radicals create oxidative stress in our skin and lead to signs of photoaging. So a good vitamin C serum is always a good idea, and it's kind of where I tend to spend my money when I'm investing in my skincare. Vitamin C serums typically are about $150 to $175, so it is a little bit more of a price increase, but I really like vitamin C serum. I feel like it brightens my skin. I feel like I really notice a difference whenever I use it. So that's #2. And then #3, every single day you should wear a moisturizer with sunscreen. This is such an important step that a lot of people take for granted, just because sunscreen typically you associate with going to the beach or being outside, but really it's very, very important to wear sunscreen every single day.
Would you say that's the biggest anti-aging tip for just everyone, just sunscreen?
Yes. If you're on a very tight budget, the least you can do is go buy a little moisturizer with sunscreen over the counter and do it every single morning. I always put it on my face, on my neck, and on my chest. And this is important because when you're living your everyday life in the car or walking into the grocery store, you're getting so many harmful UV rays that are, #1, putting you at increased risk for getting a skin cancer at some point in your life. But #2, and for some people more importantly, it's causing a lot of aging and photo damage and decreased collagen. So that's something very cost effective that you can add into your regimen. My favorite sunscreens, probably #1, and has been for the past 10 years, is Elta MD UV Clear. It's been recommended by dermatologists all over the country for years. Since I was in high school, I think I've been using that. And it's good for acne prone skin. It helps calm down a little bit of redness because it has a little bit of an antioxidant called niacinamide in it. So it's a really good sunscreen. And there's a few other Elta sunscreens that are really good, like Elta MD UV Daily is really good for drier skin types. And Elta MD UV Elements is really good for people with melasma or pigmentation. It has a little bit of a tint to it, which helps protect you a little bit further from getting some pigmentation due to the sun's rays. So that is morning routine. Nighttime, I'm just gonna include 3 steps again. So #1, gentle face wash. I always just use the same thing that I use in the morning. And then once your skin's completely dry, you wanna try to use something with a retinol or a retinoid in it. Unless you're pregnant or breastfeeding, retinols fall in the class of retinoic acid, which is a vitamin A derivative. It's one of the most studied molecules in all of anti-aging skincare, and it's been consistently recommended for many, many years. So I always try to incorporate something with a retinoid in it at nighttime. So there's a big difference between retinol and retinoic acid. Retinol is the inactive form of retinoic acid, and once you apply it to your skin, it then has to be converted to retinoic acid, which is the active ingredient, which leads to all those good anti-aging benefits. So for that reason, retinol is not quite as effective as retinoic acid, which is typically prescription strength. But some patients just can't tolerate that prescription strength. So if you're one of those people with more sensitive skin, then you probably want to start with an over-the-counter retinol. And on my little handout, which maybe you can post on your YouTube channel, there are specific recommendations of good retinols that you can find online. But if you're tolerating an over-the-counter retinol every single day with no issues, then you may want to ask your dermatology provider for a prescription strength retinoic acid that's a little bit more strong and effective. Yeah, so that's step 2. And then step 3 is a good moisturizer, especially here in the Permian Basin. It's so dry, so it's so important to really keep your skin barrier intact. And we can do that with a good moisturizer on top of our retinoid. And some of my favorites come from over the counter. This is another category that I just don't spend a lot of money on. One of my favorite ones, especially for drier skin types, is Cerave Night Renewing Cream. It's really good. It's $16 over the counter, so it's pretty cheap, and I just use it every night and keeps my skin hydrated. If you have acne-prone skin, Cerave PM moisturizer is really good. That's a lot of people's favorite moisturizer. Don't use a tanning bed. That is the #1 thing I think you can be doing. If you're using a tanning bed, you need to stop right now. I always tell people, just never do it. It's not worth it. Even if you're trying to get a base tan for a trip, it's not worth all of those.
So do you think that the sun is healthier than tanning beds?
Yes, but I always tell patients no tan is a good tan. You just want to avoid tanning, because whenever you're getting tan, it is causing those damages within your skin that are leading to photoaging. Even if you're not getting sunburned, if you're getting tan, you're aging your skin.
Right.
Which is really hard to hear because we all love to be tan, but I'd recommend spray tans over the tanning bed.
Yes, or a good self-tanner.
Yes, good self-tanner. Yes, check out her self-tanner video for sure. So yeah, no tanning beds. Getting enough sleep is super important for your skin. Our cells are all renewing as we're sleeping, and that's super important, especially for looking your brightest the next day. Drinking plenty of water, also very important. But I think the #1 thing is sun protection, and we always say in anti-aging skincare, so protect is really important, and that is what you're doing when you're using the antioxidant serum and the sunscreen. And then correcting is also important, and that's what you're doing when you're using like an active ingredient like a retinol, retinoid, or there's also some other acids like glycolic acid, salicylic acid, lactic acid. Incorporating those in your regimen as well can also help kind of increase your skin cell turnover, brighten your skin. So that's some other products that are good as well.
And include that so you can see all of the specifics, and I'll type it all up also in the description. So
yes,
thank you so much.
You're welcome. And they can come see us at Basin Dermatology if they have any skincare needs. And we do have some social media platforms. I have an Instagram called Derm by Katie that gives you some anti-aging skin tips. And then we also have a Facebook for our practice, Basin Dermatology, and an Instagram, Basin Dermatology.
Awesome. So I'll include all of that too in the description, just an arrow right there. Just click that and you'll see all of this information right there. All right. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks.
We'll see you next week.